be successful running around out there if you are constantly having bad PR and bad press in the industry. So, all right, Dan, I'm going to let you take control of questions, because otherwise, my full blown ADD will kick in and I'll get distracted left and right. So just jump in when we have
jump in. Okay, I was just posting some stuff. Okay, well, let's hit the first question. Here we go. This is from. I'll post it up on screen here. See, banners. New one. There we go. We don't want it to scroll. There we go. And here we go. What is the average deal you sign with the publisher? How much, what percentage should they get?
All right. So we're going to go to our patented "it depends" answer. And I saw that article by the whoever it was, that maybe it was a lawyer that went through like 30 different contracts and assigned, this is what you should be getting. That's a load of shit. I mean, to be blunt, because every single contract is going to be different. Every single deal is going to be different. What percentage should you get? You should get the percentage that you feel is fair and it works for you. Don't go out there trying to be that company that, has a mandate of, well, we have to get 80% of the revenue and we want $500,000 up front. While there may be a publisher out there willing to do it, don't get yourself wrapped up in what other companies have in their contracts. Don't compare yourself to other games and other developers. Every single situation, every single publishing deal is different. Now, obviously, there are limits. If, everything starts flipping around and getting turned back to the way it used to be, where, developers would get a 15% royalty on their own work and all this other stuff. Yes, that's bad. But every deal has to be looked at individually. And this is the way that I always, when we're working with our clients, this is the way that I look at these deals. Is it a good fit for both parties? Are you going to do better off with this publisher and make more money than you would have on your own? That's what I always preach and always recommend. Yes, there are plenty of articles and conversations out there about this is what you should get. No, it's depending on your situation, you could come in and one publisher offer you 300 grand upfront as an advance and a smaller royalty or rev share on the back end. You could have another one come in and say, look, we can't do that much money up front. We're going to give you like 50 grand, but we're going to guarantee you 250 grand in marketing. And they have a complete marketing plan laid out. And it's something they have obviously put time into and they know what they're doing. And then you could have a third one where it's somewhere in the middle. All of those options for a specific developer are viable. It just depends on what your personal situation is. Do you need the cash now versus in the future? Are you willing to take a little more of a risk because it looks like the company that you're working with really understands the marketing for your type of game and is really going to get behind it? There's always too many variables in there to really sit down and say, this is what they should absolutely get. The general rule, though, is the more a publisher puts into the development and the budget of the game overall, the more that they're going to want on the back end. Now, if it starts going below 50-50, to you as the developer, that's when you need to start getting a little bit worried, unless there's some very specific clauses in there that says, okay, this is how much it's going to make. Or if the publisher funded the entire thing, you're probably not going to get 50-50 day one, but it really just depends. I mean, I can make arguments going in many, many different directions. So sorry.
No, and just because we're talking about shady publishers or whatever, doesn't mean they're all shady. I mean, publishers offer a lot. They offer experience. They offer, the knowledge of how to get into different game platforms or different console platforms. And, they have ins and they have experience in social media and all that marketing knowledge. A lot of people just say, oh, I want to do it myself. But then you got to stop with your game development and you got to focus on social media. You got to do marketing, and you can't just like, oh, I'm going to market my game and not know anything about it. Well, you can, but you know, publishers really help out big time.